took was one logo to shake the very foundation of what we thought was they come from DC. It was no longer a joke put in as an Easter egg into somebody else's movie. Shit just got real.
What?
Welcome, population, to the video edition of Panels on Pages' six-pack. Now, before we jump into this Superman versus Batman / Justice League six-pack, let us first go over the prologue. After the release of Man of Steel, there was a huge debate on whether or not Superman's complete disregard of his surroundings could possibly have killed a shitload of people. And then there was also the debate on whether or not it was right for Superman to kill General Zod. Now, no matter where you stood on those two issues, I think as a whole, we all can agree that Man of Steel is a refreshing take on the character and definitely deserving of a sequel. And DC and Warner Brothers would answer the cries of the people by shining the bat signal proudly into the night. Now, after this announcement, all we knew for sure was that the seeds for this were already planted in Man of Steel and Easter eggs, and that all the main players for Man of Steel would return. It would be stupid not to. But the one question that remained was, who the f*** is going to play Batman?
Ben Affleck will play the Dark Knight opposite Superman in the sequel to Man of Steel. Not very many people are happy about this.
Filmmaker Zack Snyder says Affleck has, quote, the acting chops to create a layered portrayal of a man who is older and wiser than Clark Kent and bears the scars of a seasoned crime fighter, but retains the charm that the world sees in billionaire Bruce Wayne.
The obvious defense for that,
It's gone.
Warner Brothers and DC then announced that Fast and the Furious' Gal Gadot would be playing Wonder Woman. After watching this interview, I'm sold on her being Wonder Woman until proven wrong.
I want to be a badass. Can I say badass? No? Yeah, badass. I want to be a tough girl. I want to do like all kinds of action. I want to have gunshots. I want to fly up the air on the motorcycle, whatever. I want to do it all by myself. No stunt woman.
Then they plopped their balls on the table and announced that Jeremy Irons would be playing Alfred, and that the role of Lex Luthor went from being rumored to be played by Heisenberg to being played by Eisenberg, which pretty much showed that all rumors surrounding this project, until officially announced by DC and Warner Brothers, is nothing more than... Whether you love or hate these casting decisions, DC and Warner Brothers has given us all an extra 10 months to either praise or shit on these decisions. Now, the obvious reason the pushback is a good idea is that they get out of the way of the Disney hammer by dropping out of the 2015 race and Ant-Man officially taking their original opening date. Superman vs. Batman gets out of a direct competition with the May opening of Avengers 2: Age of Ultron and the new Star Wars trilogy, which releases in December. Now, with all of DC stumbling just to get to this point, there's nothing wrong with taking 2015 off and come correct in 2016. I mean, really, who wants to compete with that? Now, this pushback is going to give DC some time to get their shit straight. After some premature gunslinging announcing that a Man of Steel sequel and a Justice League movie would both be out by 2015, that was just crazy talk. Now, by backing away from this avenging Jedi, they can take a breath and really flesh out what they want this to be, where they want to go after Batman vs. Superman, and who they want to be in these movies. DC and Warner Brothers needs to treat this like a well-played chess match and have their next 6 movie moves all planned out and ready to go.
Checkmate.
Now, with their shit together, filming Batman vs. Superman and Justice League at the same time makes perfect sense. If you have your cast, production crew, and script all ready to go, why not shoot both at the same time? It is very doable. Lord of the Rings is a perfect example of how having a clear direction of where you're going makes filming multiple movies a very slayable beast.
We knew we had to run a very tight ship, as it were, so that when we started shooting, we knew we'd get tired, we knew we'd get exhausted, that all sorts of pressures would descend on us, and we just had to have a great focused plan to be able to get us through each day.
Now, by filming both movies back to back, it makes a multi-picture deal more appealing to higher profile actors who may already have their next 3 years booked. They can film 2 movies in the time that it takes to film 1, and now you can get an actor like The Rock, who likes to stay busy. Now, it was already announced that Argo screenwriter Chris Terrio will rewrite the story originally written by David S. Goyer. Now, as of right now, Internet Movie Database has no one listed to direct the Justice League movie. David S. Goyer is listed as the screenwriter, but you would assume that Terrio would be doing the same to that script as he is with Batman vs. Superman.
What's this? Leverage. For what? To get things moving.
Could bringing Terrio in hint that Affleck and Terrio might be joining forces to take on Justice League?
Whatever it is, I like it.
Could this possibly mean that Ben Affleck could be the first person to not only direct but wear the cowl in the same movie?
This is what I do.
The thought isn't that far out there if you think about it. Affleck already has a proven track record that he can direct a movie that he's starring in. And he was already offered the job to direct Justice League years ago. And to top that off, Warner Brothers produced his movies. Oh yeah, and by the way, Ben Affleck is a two-time, count them, two-time Academy Award winner.
All that matters is that you gotta get up. Violet, Sam, and Sarah, I love you. This...
Now, if indeed DC and Warner Brothers does 1 through 5, after all the money is counted by the bigwigs, it is us, the fans, who truly win.
Oh, yeah!
There is still enough room in this great big world for both the Avengers franchise and the Justice League franchise to not only coexist, but both be awesome.
Exactly!
I mean, just think about this. By 2020, we will have 2 more Avengers movies, 2 Justice League movies, a Guardians of the Galaxy, and a new Star Wars trilogy to erase the thought of the prequels out of our minds.
He's lying. It's some kind of trap.
I mean, it is a very bright future in Hollywood for comic book movies, for nerds, and for us as a people.
I know, right?
And there you have it. A 6-pack of reasons on why the pushback was not only good, but beneficial to all of us. They just have to do it now. Comment below if you believe that this was a good idea or just a sign of weakness by Warner Brothers and DC. Please be sure to subscribe to the Pop channel if you haven't already. Check us out on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and please be sure to check out our website, PanelsOnPages.com, for all your daily nerdy goodness. Stay tuned for more videos to come. If you guys keep watching, we will keep putting them out.
You're cool. Oh, okay. I get it. You're having an image problem.
Don't be ridiculous. I'm Superman.
Yeah, exactly. It's f***ing white bread.